Hello everyone. Welcome to Maria's Crafting Corner. Sorry, I started wrong and my brain got boo. Welcome to another paper crafting video. This is Maria from mariascraftingcorner.com. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. How about that? Isn't that much better? Oh my goodness. Hi Rochelle. Hi Tracy. Guys, I am so glad you're here with me today. And that's why I'm always like, blah, 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 right? I just start so quickly, my brain gets all mingled. So I am very excited because we have a super cool project, and we are going to get started to that one pretty quickly because it's kind of on the longer side. Hi Elizabeth. I have to say, guys, it is yeah, it's a little bit more complex than the ones we've done lately, but I think we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. You know that thing that says it's fine, we're fine, you're all fine. It's going to be okay. Um, so before I get started, I just want to remind you guys that these are the new kits available, and at this point in time, I have them all. I have not started using. I will probably do. I'm thinking of doing two. The remembering Christmas kit because I just love those, and maybe the tags. I think the tags will be great just to use for your regular gifts, right? So I am really excited about making that one. But guys, they are beautiful. You should look into them and enjoy them. Now, this is exactly Tracy's saying it's so good. It's so good. I agree. Thank you, Tracy. Um, this is the new paper pumpkin kit. You have until November 10th to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin Kit if you haven't. And quite frankly, let me drink some water, guys. I love it because these got like little gift cards or small treats. So it has little boxes and tags too. And I really like that idea. I enjoy when they do that because it's just super useful for your Christmas, for just general Christmas stuff. And like the boxes, if you can see here, they're old olive. So for example, if you are like, okay, it's Christmas is too far away, I don't need to do something like that. Let me just tell you that that those will be great to customize somehow for your like Thanksgiving. If you're hosting Thanksgiving and you need some name for the table, that could be a good one. Or just if you want to do a few gifts for your Thanksgiving, those will work out too. I want to remind you guys that we have that advent calendar. I show it to you. It's pretty cool. I have a friend that's going to benefit from it because I decided I don't need it, and she will probably do so much better with it than I do. So she's going to benefit from it. And the last thing I want to remind you guys is that I actually do not have decided which is the rewards for this month. So I always say, and if you're my client, like in the end, I have a price standpoint and you can just reach out to me and, we can negotiate what gift you want. So if you're interested in buying something from me, please let me know. I want to put this out there. I am thinking of just making two things. Sorry. One is if you buy from me some of the Christmas kits, you'll be eligible for a Christmas card kit class, so alternatives for the Christmas kits. I think that can be a really cool option. Hey Adrian, I have not decided completely. The other thing I have been thinking of, it's kind of like a mini album class, but something that we do, let's say and I always start adding things and then I'm not able to keep up, but this one will have like a finish line. So maybe every Sunday or something along those lines. I'm just still thinking about it, but I just want to run it for you guys. If you're interested, let me know. Okay, so let's go to the crafting table. It's a little discombobulated there. Okay, let's see. Nah, maybe it's my camera. Oh no, it's my paper. Haha. Okay, yeah. I'm just making sure there's no changes because sometimes the updates in the when they do updates, software updates, it changes the regular disposition of the camera, which drives me insane because before I didn't have to worry about it and now I do. So that is not ideal. Okay, let me set up these first. Well, so something is kind of like, there we go. Okay. No, that's not, it's so weird. So it's the camera that is a little bit moved. I'm gonna leave it there because I don't want to make any more crazy things. Hello, Miss Beth. Good morning to you. Okay, so we are ready. So we're gonna be doing a interactive pop-up card. All of the cards, all the let me say it differently, all the names for cards are always pop-up card, right, or interactive card, and so I'm a little lost as to how to call these. So I came up with timeless layers, just because it has a few layers on it and it's going to be really cute. We're going to be using some new products. I have another card to show you with retired products too, but you know, it's super easy to make. Let me rephrase that. It has some work to it, but it is not um engineer kind of process. I don't know how to say it better. But I want to show you what I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be using two new products, and that's Petals of Beauty and Creative Haven. I got them both. These are the two ones that I got. I got one more, and I show you guys. And I just want to show you a couple of the things that I've done with the new situation with the new. Uh-oh. I'm just looking because I stopped there for a minute. So let me know if it's all working. So with the new packaging, so I did add, guys, a dot of Velcro in here. To me, just that's easy to just open and close, right? And then I saw, thank you, Elizabeth, for showing that to me. So I saw another demonstrator, and of course I forgot the name of it. Elizabeth, is it the video you share? If you want to share that, that would be great so we can help her. So that's the first one I've seen. I've seen a lot of people doing the same thing. I'm going to tell you what I did that is not working for me, so you guys have kind of like a better knowledge. And I promise to do this quickly. So what I did, guys, is here's the stamps. I know it's hard to see. I attached these first, and then I inked it and stamp on the other side, right? And I have to say that it is great because then you have an exact image of how this is set up, right? Or an exact reproduction of how the stamp is set up. But this is what it happens, and that's probably because I'm really messy. I had a lot of, just like ink around, so I really did not like how that looked. And I'm just telling you that. So that my thought process is it may be a good idea to stamp it on this side and put this one on top, and then just use these as the extra side. So that works a little bit better maybe. I do have to say I have both the dies and the stamps together. That has always been, I have always kept dies together. And I just want to show you real quick. I did add some of the magnet to, that's just the original piece of cardstock, and I added some magnet to it. As you guys can tell, I had pieces that I've used over and over, and so I figured I'm just gonna, these are leftovers from the magnets. I'm just making the most out of it, and it fits really well. Now there's a few disadvantages, and I want to tell you about that. So and it is because it's paper. it tends to break a little bit. So I'm going to bring you this one. So this is me trying, don't laugh. This is me trying to kind of disguise my mess. And I wanted to get creative and add colors to it. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to use Berry Burst. Like, that's just fun. It doesn't look great, quite frankly, but nothing I can do about it. You know, now I know. But when I was moving these, it kind of like the paper broke. So I'll have to figure out if there's a better option to do this, you know, just to make the paper last longer. I'm not sure what that's going to be. But anyways, this is what we're going to be using today. Sorry about all that information, but since we're in change, might as well. And then I brought back, this is a celebration item, a very old one. Hi Jane, how are you? And I loved it. And I have to say, I don't think, well, I'll show you. I barely used it. And I'm like, this is such a gorgeous set. So I have it. And this is the part we're going to be using one of these ones. So just putting it out there. Now, another thing I want to show you guys is that I've made some changes. You will not see them here. But here is the PDF tutorial. So don't worry about that. It obviously has, you know, templates, so you guys don't need anything for that. But I took off my banner at the top and kind of created a watermark, and I did that so if you are printing, you waste less space and, you know, have less. It's watermarks are so much lighter that I think that it will save also ink. So I just want to show you that that is what it is, and that way it's not like 20 pages long also. So trying to make it a little bit better. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Bev. Thank you. Hi Anita, how are you? Okay, so the sorry guys, this card I saw, and I want to say it was Elizabeth who sent me this YouTube channel from a lady from Spain, and her YouTube channel is called Las Cosas de Soco. And so she mentions a couple of other channels that she just, you know, got the instructions from. And so I did not pay much attention, but I want to say one of them is a French crafter, and I think it's loose scrap or something. No matter what, in the description below you will see something that says, you know, just kind of mentions Las Cosas de Soco. So it says it has the at Las Cosas de Soco. So if you want to go to her channel, she's starting, so it would be great for us to support her, especially if you understand Spanish. It makes it very easy. So just want to promote her channel. And it is we're going to have a lot of fun with this interactive card. I was thinking of something else to say, but I can't remember. So let's get started. So the first thing I have, guys, and of course you guys know I have everything in here. So I have two pieces of one of 6 by 6, one 6.5 by 6, a score at 1/2 inch. Actually, I made this 5/8, I want to say, and I just wanted a little longer, so you know it works better for whatever reason. That's what I was thinking. But I want to say, guys, a couple of things. Now I remember what I wanted to say. The one that she made in her channel, it's 8 by 8. So what I did is I worked the mechanism in order to fit a 6 by 6. It would have been fairly difficult for the way the mechanism is done to do in a smaller set, and I did not have a lot of time to fix it. When I have, and I know I've told you that, it's just been busy around here, and so I just did not have enough time. So I apologize for that, but I figure 6 by 6 is still something that we can do, that it's useful, and that a lot of people utilize 6 by 6. You guys know that it's not that I prefer 6 by 6, but I do like the 6 by 6 quite a bit, because I feel that you are able to kind of decorate a little bit longer, a little bit more, not longer. So just putting that out for you. I don't know what I did with my other scissors. I'm just like throwing them away or something. Okay, let me remove this. So what I did, guys, and this is something that I've been doing lately, and so I know that you're probably all aware, is I decided, so usually what we do is we add these in here, right, and then put this one on top, and that has been, it's a possibility. I have been doing this is one of the reasons why I don't love it. So let me put this back in here, and so you see, like there is probably, I see, I don't know if it's possible, if you guys can see it. It's probably less than a 16th of an inch, but it's a little bit bigger on this side if you put it in here. So my OCD would mean I need to fix that. And so what I figured is I put it on the side, and then we'll cover these hinge later when we add the paper to it. So that's all I'm going to do right now is add this piece to our thing here. Always leave, right, a little bit of space when you're talking, when you're doing this, so you have, so it's not right on top of the edge, and it like doesn't look like it's off. Hi, Miss Donna, how are you? So a couple things that I want to say. I forgot. It's fine, guys. That's my brain today. So, oh, I am using what is probably my favorite paper from this new online exclusive release that is about to happen. And that is this sheet of paper. I absolutely love it. I don't know. Is it me? I can't see very well. Are you guys seeing? I don't know. Maybe it's my brain that is a little disconnected, but it feels like it's blurry. Let me know if it's blurry, guys. But anyways, this is probably my favorite piece from this DSP, actually from the other DSP too. So I am in love with this friend, and I may get extra just because I love this paper so much. And these two are going to be on the inside, and then we have the outside. So I have this was going to be the outside, and this is going to be the back. Yes, it has a back because I am going to be utilizing some ribbon just to attach these or to tie it up, because the card is going to grow, and because it's an interactive card, we cannot really do like increase in here because we need, the mechanism is related to being fixed in the center. So that's just another detail. So we're going to add these two friends. You know, you guys know I have to do these, otherwise I forget, like every single time, right? So if I don't do that, I forget. I remember what I wanted. Thank you, Tracy, for letting me know. I forget. I remember what I wanted to tell you, and it is that, of course, you don't have to do this hinge thingy, putting these two pieces together if you have 12 by 12, right? That is just a true statement. I just no longer have 12 by 12 mossy meadow, and so I had to do this. But I think that, I don't know, maybe I'm not the only one. I think that I love I love 12 by 12 pieces, because I think you have, when you have 12 by 12 pieces, it is easier to save paper, right? Like you end up with less little pieces. That's been my experience anyway. And so I always use, I like 12 by 12, but I've not gotten, for whatever reason. So it is what it is. So like I said, we have 6 by 6, and then we'll need then 4 pieces of it would be 5/7/8 by 5/7/8 and 5/3 by 5/3. So you'll need 4 of them because we'll decorate the inside. That's not very you know, different from others. I'm going to use this one better because I think I centered this a little bit better than this one. So there's that. Oh, Anita's saying that she loves that DSP. I have to tell you, oh my goodness, I really, really like it. I really like there are color combinations that I absolutely adore and some of them are definitely those, like these type of pinks along with the mossy meadow and the very vanilla. This paper that I am using, guys, does have a paper pattern, so I'm paying attention so I don't mess it up. Okay, we're gonna move these, make sure that's set up, and we're gonna add now the other piece of ribbon. It is a little on the way, but I mean, this is the time to add it because later on, and that's me. I mean, if you have better, maybe the word, if you have, if you're capable to add things when they're thick, I just don't have that ability, quite frankly. I always mess it up. And so I figured that the best way to do this is, ahead of time. And no matter what, we do need to add, the insides need to be added now, so might as well. And I'm just adding this one on the back. We can get creative later on if we have leftovers and add something in the back if we want it. We don't need it, of course. And now we're going to add the inside. So again, probably my favorite fake piece. Did I mention that in case you didn't hear me? It is my favorite piece. I am using for the for the outside layer, so for the petal pink layer, I am using the two-tone cardstock, and I've been doing that because, sorry guys, need to make sure that I have the right placement. I've been doing that because it's a little thinner than our regular cardstock, and so it helps make the card a little less thick. No matter what, this is quite a mechanism, and you're gonna have several areas to put stuff, and so really, like I guess what I'm trying to say, really what you're going to get is going to get thick no matter what, but I'm just trying to make it a little less thick. This may be one of those cards that if you're going to send, you can send it like in a package or something along those lines. Okay, so this is ready. We're going to put this out of the way and we're going to start working with the mechanism. Now, the mechanism is 3 inches by 9 and 3/8. And we may need to cut a little bit later. You'll see I kept making it shorter because it was initially, I think, 9 3/4, and then I just was afraid the mechanism was not going to work, so I made it a little thinner and a little shorter, and we may still have to chop a little bit of it, and we're going to use white just because it's going to be easier. Remember, you're going to have all that info in here, right? So we are going to bring this piece, we're going to put it vertical, and vertical, and we're going to score at 1.5, which would be half of 3. So that's the first score line. And now on the top, so we could do this together. So we're going to need to we're going to need to mark on the top, on the middle, and on the bottom, but the measurements from the edges and the middle are different, and so I just don't want it just gets confusing for me. Maybe when you have them already available, like in your tutorial, it'll be easier. I quite frankly, I got a little confused making another one. I'm like, okay, it's easier to do top and bottom first and then the middle one. So I'm going to start with the middle one, and like I said, it does have, let me show you, the template brings like clear in here. So there you go, you have, and I didn't duplicate this at the top just because I didn't have space in the Cricut. I used the Cricut space to do this, but they are the same measurements. Okay, so this is the measurement, so you're gonna have the template there very clear, and I don't know if you can see, this is the shape we're going to be making. So we are going to start at the top, at the bottom, scoring at 3 3/4. Let me clean it up. There you go, 3 3/4, and then I'm going to make a mark at the top and at the bottom. This is why I'm doing in white and with pencil so you guys can see better. And then at 4 1/4. And then we'll move all the way to 5 7/8. Okay. So what we're doing is making those marks. And now we're going to move to the middle. And we're just going to keep it as it is. And we're going to score at 3. I mean, not score. We're going to mark at 3. So I'm just going to bring my pen. And I know it's harder to see, but there it is. There's my 3. Then we're going to move to 3 1/2. And we'll make a mark in there. And then we're going to move to 5 1/4. Okay. Then we're going to mark that. That gives us that image that you saw in the template. So what we have right now is just a 6 that you can't see. I don't know why it's so hard. There it is. 9 dots that will connect. So the way we're going to connect is we're going to connect the ones in the edge to the middle one. So I guess, I don't know if this makes sense. So let me know if it doesn't. But so the first 2 marks will be connected to the first dot in the middle and so forth. The second 2 dots will be connected to the second dot in the middle, and so we'll do the third one. And because I've been doing this for quite a bit, I realize that it is easier for me anyways to just score. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. Hi, Kim. Welcome. Okay, so I will score the top first and then the bottom later. It just feels like it flows better. So, okay, I'm aligning these 2 here, and I'm going to score that. And then we're going to do the same with the next 2 pieces or the next 2 points. And finally, these 2. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. See what I'm saying? Like it flows better, I feel. There was the other one. Thank you, Elizabeth. And I was thinking, was it Terry Gaines, the other one that you sent me? There was, I think it was Terry Gaines that did an amazing update. So what she did, an amazing way to store this, she added them into a, oh my goodness, not a folder. Well, I forgot the name. Elizabeth will correct me. And that really works nice. I was in love with that idea. So far, I just have a few of those new, and I've not done all that research, but thank you, Elizabeth, for sending that. Okay, so this is what you're going to end up with, and I'm just going to come here. Don't laugh at my lines because I never managed to make this straight, but this is how this looks in real life, which I know is harder to see. So there you go. A binder. Thank you. Hi, Miss Kathy. How are you? Okay, there it goes. This light is driving me insane. There's something about this light I need to figure out. So this is how our piece looks like. And the next step, we're just going to, and that's why you have those X in here, right? We're just going to cut these 2 pieces. I mean, the top, not these 2 pieces. And we're going to cut that. And that's where we're at. And we're going to move from here to the actual coloring, to the actual pieces that we have. Okay, so this is our first piece. If you have white, just always use white. It's so much better. You can use the white from our pencils, and if you don't have, like, all I have is all the old whites that I have that I've been using, that they're just too small anymore to use in my pens when I'm coloring, and those are the ones I have, and they come in very handily. Okay, so now we're going to come here and we're going to cut here in the middle. So from this edge, so from the pointy edge to the next pointy edge, so right there. So I guess between, that would be 3 and 3 1/2 between those mark points. And I'm going to cut here. I'm going to make, just going to make those corners, chop a little bit. And now we are going to have those like that. And what I did, guys, is I'm just going to fold and cut these 2 at the same time. Okay, so these are the flaps of the mechanism. Now we are going just as it always happens with this kind of mechanism. So these are fold mountain. This one is fold mountain too. So just like that. But these part of the mechanism, so like the tail, that's how I see it. It's like the tail of the mechanism needs to be folded belly. Right? Okay. And that's what you see how easy it went. So I just folded these first. So make this mountain, and then we push and push and push, and then that's how the mechanism works. Okay, so let me bring real quick the bone folder just to kind of make those work. And this is our first part of the mechanism. Don't get scared, it has a few mechanisms, so we're going to go in detail with all of them. So I already did this, and I'm sorry, but bottom line, this is our piece, right, that we just got. This is the leftover, so this is this piece, and all you need to do is cut it in half. We're just going to use one of these. We don't need both of them. We're just going to need one of them. And so this is the one I'm using. I don't think there's a difference, but for whatever reason, I'm using the one in the top here. I don't know. I did not have enough time to kind of like check all the changes. So we'll see. We'll see how this ends up working. I can tell you that I built the card that I made with that, and it worked well. Yes, thank you, Elizabeth. So now we're going to put this piece horizontal with the straight side looking to the left. Okay, and we're going to start. Sorry, guys, I'm going back here to my cheat sheet. We're going to do similar. We're going to make some marks on the top, and we're going to make some marks on the bottom, and I'm going to make them separately. So I am bringing, and sorry guys, I'm gonna get my little piece here. So we're going to start at the top. We're going to start at 1, and we're going to mark. So we're just marking the top, and then we're going to go to 1 3/4. And there's the next one, and the next one is 3 1/8. And so there we go. Okay, so we just make those 3 marks, and now we are going to mark the lower part, which is we're going to start at 1/8. So I know it's pretty small, but it's right there. I mean, pretty short, I guess. It's right there. And then 7/8. Ah, okay, 7/8, maybe. There we go. And finally 2 3/8. Okay, and you figured that out. What we need to do now is score diagonally between those dots, and it will be the exact same process in the sense as the first will connect with the first and so forth. So let's go ahead and do that. And so I a little bit of a disclaimer. I was able, when I created my template, and I'll show it to you here in a second, it was all working well, but I made changes to the initial template, and this works, but I think it could have been perfected, and I didn't. So this is what we have now. We have three different score lines. One is there. There you go. We're gonna cut this piece. So let me just go ahead and cut that real quick. And this is part of the mechanism, so of the main mechanism. I am going to fold. We're going to fold mountain, and let me, because it's important how you fold it. So this needs to look, I know this looks very dramatic, but this needs to look like these. So what I'm trying to say is our piece, so I'm going to fold belly. 1 minute. Sorry, guys. Okay, this is how it needs to look. And you have that specifically mentioned in the tutorial. So like your corner, so the flaps are going to go, I guess you put the piece vertical, the flaps needs to go in the upper side and the lower side, and the corner of the, however you call this shape, I don't remember, needs to be this way. Because if you, let me show it to you backwards. If I do it this way, then the corner is up. I don't know if that makes sense, guys. So if I fold it this way, the corner of these piece, it's on the lower side. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense, but this is the shape that it needs to go. And the flaps are right here. But again, that is mentioned there. But I have it here because I didn't want to make a mistake, because yes, I did a mistake before in the other one. So all we're going to do right now, guys, is we're going to cut those, you know, those two there and create those flaps. And I'm just going to wait. Yeah, that one there and that one there. Okay, so now these are hidden, but obviously I didn't do a very good job at chopping in there, so I'm just going to chop a little bit more, and that one is not visible anymore, and we're going to do the same in here because I didn't do a good job at that. But they need to be hidden, okay, bottom line. So again, the pointy corner needs to be lower than this one, but that's how it needs to be put in our card base. So hopefully this works, guys. I'm getting warm in here. I'm wearing a fleece. It was cold in the morning and it's not that cold anymore. So now we're going to bring our card base again. We are going to bring a, if I find it, would be great. Oh, here it is. A ruler. And I'm going to mark from the top inward or towards the middle of our card base. I'm going to mark at 1.25 inches. So sorry guys, if you see my big head, it's because I need to make sure that this is correct. So I'm going to mark there at 1.25 inches. Okay, I'm just making a small dot. You can't see it, but I have made just a little small dot. And now we're going to do from the bottom to the, you know, again towards the inside of the card, we're going to mark at, sorry guys, 2 5/8 inches, and we're just going to make that mark exactly like we did the other one. It's in the middle, so it has to be in the middle. So here's 2.5. I'm looking at this backwards. I think that's the one. Okay, so we're just made those two marks, and that's the only thing we need. I'm going to put that there. Now I'm going to bring my mechanism, my main mechanism and the other mechanism actually, and we're going to add these two. So the first one that I'm going to add is this one, and I can tell this may not work, and I'll explain, but I think it's going to work fine. So we're going to add this one right here. So that lower pointy corner, I don't know how to call it, needs to go right there where we made that mark. And I am going to add some tear and tape to this. I was going to use the thick one. Can't find my Stampin' Up one. Ah, it's hiding, guys. It's okay. There we go. I was using a lot the thick one because it's so useful. Okay, let me see. So let's go ahead and add, and because this is, you know, a mechanism, I am going to add 2 pieces. Yes, I'll add 2 pieces to it, just to make sure it really holds on tight and will keep things moving well. So, okay, lower point, lower corner, lower pointy corner to the mark we just made. I am going to fold these and we're going to place it right there. So I'm going to fold these, not add it yet, just make sure it's right there. Now these needs to go straight. So I know I tend to do like move it, like I don't know, I don't know what I was doing, it was really weird. But so this piece needs to go, and I just want to make sure I'm saying this correctly. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so this side needs to be right next to the middle score line. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it needs to be right next to it. I don't know, guys, you tell me how to say it better, but that's where we're going to adhere this one, okay? And that we'll move later. Now, this is our next mechanism. So we're going to fold these two pieces, and actually I can see that these are still like overlapping each other. So I'm going to cut a little bit more. I don't want to cut a whole lot more because then we are going to lose areas in here to adhere this. But I'm going to bring again my tear and tape on the other side. And I think in this one, I made the mistake of cutting, let me bring this up. I made the mistake of cutting these corners too deep. And I think I'm going to add some glue to this just to make sure it's really going to adhere well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn these like that. And all I need to do, guys, is bring the point of our mechanism, so this pointed, the middle point, and at center right there on top, put it right there on top of our little dot. So that's where we're going to do that one. So I'm going to put this flat back out, and then I'm going to bring some glue just to make sure again that it's going to be like as glued as possible. So I'm going to fold that back and let it dry for 1 minute. And of course, that's one of the reasons I don't like glue, because I make such messes, and at least one of them. So we're going to give this 1 second to dry. In the meantime, we're going to bring the other mechanism. So technically speaking, it has 4 mechanisms. Don't freak out. They're pretty simple. The next piece, and I already did this, and I don't know what I was thinking, guys, but we're going to need, let me bring just a piece of white in here. I'm trying to see if I have a piece of something that I don't need to use, but white it will be. This one, I ended up making it 2.5 by 2.5. So we need a square of 2.5 by 2.5. Okay. And all the mechanisms are the same. I'm going to use these just to show you so you can see better because it's in white. So 2.5 by 2.5, it's our first big mechanism. And what we're going to do is we're going to score at 3/8. So I'm going to move that to 3/8. And of course, it's easier to score or use the right side of your trimmer. Now I'm going to turn again, and I'm going to score at 3/8 again. And so what we have is in the adjacent side, we scored. And so we are now, wish this were not so hard to see. I'm making these so you guys can see this better. There we go. Just like that. Okay, so that's what we have. And now, using these as a base, I'm going to score diagonally. So that score line needs to go through that place where our previous score lines met. So this is the side we need to score. What I'm trying to say is you don't score on the other side, right? It's right there where we have the meeting of the score lines. And so I'm going to go ahead and score these real quick. And that's what we end up. And I'm just going to make this so it's a little bit easier for you to see. And there it goes. Okay, so that's what we have now. You can cut these. So what we're going to cut, I'm going to bring my pen again. We're going to cut in here. So right there, we're going to cut straight, not following my line because, not straight, but we're going to cut a straight line right there where we created that piece where all lines meet, right? And so that's what we're going to do. And now I'm going to fold these. So remember, we're going to fold all these mountains. So I'm going to fold this mountain, okay? and this one too. And what I really want to do here, I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to cut these a tiny bit more, and then I'm going to cut these two. So again, it's just, that is just to make it look better. Hello, Miss Julie. But that's the piece that we have here. And we'll need 4 other pieces, smaller pieces that are folded the exact same way. So there's not a whole lot of magic to it. It's just a square. We score diagonally, and we create some flaps, and that's the gist of it. So now before I add these, I just was giving time to see if this was going to fit, right? Okay, so it looks like it's fitting well for now. So I'm really glad that that is working well. And now we're going to add the mechanism below. So there it is. That one is going to go attached to this one. Because what happens is it helps like kind of like support the main mechanism. So I am going to bring, I should have added this beforehand, but of course I didn't think of that, so no news. I'm just going to bring 2 pieces, and I know you can't see very well what I'm doing. It's not bad. And I'm going to bring 2 pieces. I actually left that flap a little longer, or a little bigger, so I could add 2 pieces of tear and tape. Hi, Miss Alice, how are you? So I'm going to take the backings of that tear and tape. And guys, all I'm going to do is, this is flat. So let me move this. This is laying flat, and this is laying flat, and I'm just going to add it. So there's, again, no magic to it. And that's how the mechanism will look. I'm going to fold these and make it fit well. I'm just making sure that it closes. And I just want to make sure that our, okay, so I see what's happening. So let me show you. So when it folds, it created, let me remove this a minute so I can show you and we can correct it. Otherwise it's going to get stuck in there. Okay, so what is happening, let me move this out here, is that it needed to be right there. So this, we are forcing that fold if you want. I don't know if that makes sense. So it looks like, let me move this a little bit. There you go. And I'm going to bring my white, and that disconnected, but that's fine. So it is wanting to fold a little different than where I had it, and that does not surprise me. So that's where it wants to fold, because what I think is happening is when I change the measurements, the angle of where it needs to fold changed, and I did not pay attention to that. So we need to add our glue right there in this area and not all the way. So that's why it was gluing to the mechanism. So I'm just going to add this like that. And while we're at it, might as well add some to this since we're struggling right there. So let's add some extra glue in here to this other piece. So bottom line, I'm going to go back in here, hold that, hold the one below is totally extended and flat, and glue them all together again. And now we're just going to give it a few more seconds for that to dry, because I really, before I move any further, I really want to make sure that the mechanism is functioning. So bottom line, it seems to me that we need to make a, where's my little piece here? So see what I'm saying? I think that this is the bigger piece. So this in the original card was 4 inches, and I made it smaller to 3 inches. And I think that because I made it smaller, I not damaged, but I changed the angle at what it was closing, and that's why we're having that situation. So I'm gonna hold this for a minute just to make sure that that is working well and well glued. Let me remove that, and okay, it's working. Ha, there we go. But here's the point. If you follow the instructions just as I did, what is going to happen is just don't add, here it is, don't add glue all over. Just add glue at the like at the edge, and close it and glue it, and then make sure that it's not gluing like it was doing on this side. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope it does. Okay, so that's our first mechanism, and like I was saying, this one just helps hold the big one still. Okay, so we're back to our previous, or the mechanism we were working. I'm gonna name them, guys. So mechanism 1, and that's how we do in the template, is the big one. The second one, or the small one underneath, is mechanism 2, and this one is called mechanism 3. So let's go ahead and add some turn taping here and on both sides. Okay, so you bring this back in here. So we're going to fold those flaps, right? Just making sure it all it folds, and everything is folded mountain in this case. And there we go. So I'm just taking one, not both. So these are going to be glued in the mechanism. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to align. Yes, you can see well. So I'm aligning my diamond piece with the edge of the mechanism number 1. So if you imagine here, this would be divided in two, right? Like if I wanted to divide this, well, let's say in the other half, this is what it's going to look like. So we're going to align that fictional line, that fictional center, with the edge of the mechanism number 1. And that's what we're going to do. And I shouldn't have taken the, what's the name of that? The backing of the mechanism. Now, the other thing that's important is we're going to align the middle. So remember the score line with the score line of the main mechanism. So both score lines need to be aligned. I'm making sure that that fits, that does. And now I'm going to remove this backing and add this other piece. So let me show you up close to see if that makes sense. So what we did is we imagined that there was a middle in here. So this is not, we don't imagine it really. This is the middle of the diamond, right? And that goes aligned with the back of the mechanism 1. And these score line that we made in our diamond, it has to be aligned with the score line of the mechanism number 1. And now we're just going to make sure that that fits, and it does. Or that it is functioning, is I guess what I should say. It's fitting. It's fitting within the card. That's the goodness. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Now the rest of the mechanism. So remember, you need 4 pieces of 2 by 2. Just score. So sorry guys, I have a mess in here of things because I have a ton of things. Just to score and fold it like we talked earlier. I left this one before, but because I was thinking, oh, I'll just do one. But I think it was easier to see in white. So I'm just scoring at 3/8 of an inch, just the same. So let me go back. 2 by 2 square. Is scored 3/8 of an inch in the adjacent. Okay, I don't know why some words are just difficult. They are, right next to each other, and that's where we are going to score. And then we're going to score that in the middle, right there where those all those lines intersect. Anita is saying that I'm the mechanism pro. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so I'm folding that so you guys can see. I'm gonna cut right here, right there where all those lines intersect. I cut that, and now I'm going to cut these two a little bit more. I don't know, right that, and there we go. So these, we created the same flaps, and we created, we have our square. Now, I did not cut the edges of this side, mainly because I feel that these are smaller, and I did that for the others, but I feel these are smaller, and we may want just some more area to support us, to be able to put more area to put glue to adhere to the whole thing. So I'm going to start with glue. Let me start with tear and tape. Okay, and some more tear and tape. And yes, I think I'm going to add tear and tape and glue to all of these mechanisms. I think that that is probably the safest way to do it. So, okay, here we go. Flaps are in the back. This is our square. That's where our diagonal score line is. And what we're going to do is we're going to place this square right there. Here's the corner, right there in the corner. And we are technically, we're not seeing it, but this score line is aligned with the edge of the diamond in here. So again, corner to point, I guess, corner to point in the in our diamond, and that's exactly where we need it. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I'm going to remove one of these. Let's see if I can do this way so you can see what I'm doing. So the flap is right here. So I'm going to hold this so you guys can see, hopefully. So I'm going to hold these. I'm holding it with my hand so it doesn't glue right away and adhere right there. So we have one, and let's do the other one. Once one is adhered, it's super easy to add the other one. Okay. And just like we did before, we're going to make sure that everything folds, and it's folding nicely. Now I'm going to bring, these are already set, so let me bring, I need to add glue to the other one, guys. So I will definitely have to do that here because I did cut these very short, and yeah, there's not enough surface for it. So same thing, we're going to fold these. Everything is folded mountain, and here's the mechanism, here's the flaps. They have to go at the corner right there. So this is where we're going to add our other piece, and I'm going to fold these backwards, actually, now that I think about it. Let's see, we're going to add glue to this, and hopefully this will help for this to stay glued. Okay, going back. I'm trying not to get myself all glued, but so corner to corner, and I'm making sure that this is straight, which was not super straight, and I need to move it a little bit higher. So these two need to be aligned together. There we go. And I'm going to hold for that here for a second, so that is fairly glued. And I'm going to fold that backwards, and now I'm going to add glue to this one, and then we'll just add the other piece. Okay, so glue, glue, glue. And we just fold it backwards, right? Or fold it into itself. I can see there's some glue here. I'm just going to remove that. It's not going to be a big deal, but I'm just going to remove that. Okay, while that is getting dry, I have a big piece in here. We're going to create a decoration for these. So I'm going to make a 2x2 square. We don't need that much, but I quite frankly don't know how this is going to work. So I want to decorate these two pieces because they are visible. So I have my piece here. See how hard it is? Maybe if I do this like that. Nope. It needs to be bigger, you see? So it has to be more than 2x2. This is very sad, but I'm going to do 2.5 by 2.5. It's very sad because it's going to be a waste of beautiful paper, but fine. So, okay. Does that make it? I think it does. Okay. I think good enough. If I do it like this, no. See, it's really tricky. I don't know why. So first of all, it does not have to be, okay, if you put it this way, Okay, I'm gonna do this. Nope, right there. This is so hard to cut, guys. So I'm gonna make a little mark in there. So this mark goes straight. So that's the first one I'm going to cut. And that one goes straight. So maybe that's the way to do it. So now we have a 1.5 by 2 piece. Let's see how this works. Okay. So where were we? Goodness, did I cut it wrong? Oh no, there we go. Somewhere like that. Jeez, guys. Yeah, I cut it wrong. See? This is very difficult. I don't know how I cut the other one. Like, what happened? Okay, I'm gonna put it there. So this was supposed to go straight, and I know now what I did wrong. So I'm gonna break my ruler, guys. And this is just me struggling with the same thing I've always struggled, which is angles, right? Like, it's not a big deal. We all know that I struggle with that, but I am thinking, because this area will be less noticeable, so I am moving these a little bit here to correct the fact that this is smaller, because I don't want to cut a lot of pieces of the beautiful paper. So I'm going to make a mark there, and this is going to go straight this way. So it does go straight, but not straight in the paper. So there it goes. That's going to be our first cut. And there it goes, mostly. Okay, so that's our first cut, and we are going to, there we go. We're making it happen, guys. And now I'm going to cut from here, and I'm going to mark, wait, I can feel it here. So I'm going to mark somewhere around there. And this has to be cut too, in a straight fashion, kind of. So let me use the ruler for this, guys, because this is quite the cutting process. And if it's too complicated, it's just going to stay like that. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, let's go and cut that. So, okay, that's not too bad. So now all I need to cut is a piece between here and here. And like I said, that corner is going to be covered, so I'm not too concerned that it's not perfectly set up on this side. So what I'm going to do now that I have this is create a template, right? So let me so first thing I'm going to create a template. So if when I have to do this again ever, I know sort of how that looks, and I don't need to cut it again and go through all these complications. So I'm going to make this. This should go all the way to the corner. So I'm going to imagine that corner. There it is. I'm going to put it right there with my templates. And now I'm going to bring a piece where this fits. Hopefully one of them. Not there. I don't know if you guys can see. That one's not fitting. Hopefully this one, it fits. I'm running short in here. That is so unfair. I don't want to cut any other piece. We'll have to. So it's fine. Yeah, okay. And this one is already cut. Oh, goodness. Okay, there it is. There is the piece that it's already cut. And so what I'm going to do really is I'm going to put this in here and just trace it in here. So I'm aligning at least this side to the edge, so I don't have to do a whole lot of, and I'm just going to trace that way. And now I'll cut that. And it wouldn't be perfect, but it will be decent. Whoops. Well, maybe I'll cut it. I mean, eventually. That way I save myself some of these paper because I don't want it to just go, you know, wasted. And here's the other one. So Okay, and I hope I did this correctly, and oh yeah, I did. So that's good news. It's decent. So again, I don't know if you guys can see these. It was not a really good cut, but I am just going to eyeball it and cut a little bit more. And this is the place that is not going to be seen too much. So I'm okay with that not being good. Do better, guys, than I did. Obviously, I'm struggling with this. I knew I was going to struggle. Nothing new. But yeah. Now, the other thing that you have to make... Oh, of course, Maria. Why me? We need to make sure is that these... Okay, that... No. Like it should go straightish. Oh, goodness. Right? You see what I'm saying, guys? My goodness, how did I cut this? That is so difficult. Okay, it's gonna go there and I'm gonna decorate it, guys. Bottom line, sorry. But otherwise, I'm gonna get stuck doing this for a very long time and we're not going to move on and we still have some stuff to do. So this is definitely not ideal. It's gonna be covered. It's gonna be covered. Remind me that it's gonna be covered, guys. Okay, so we're gonna bring now these two pieces. Same idea. We fold it all back. Yeah, mountain. And these two go at the bottom. So we have two of mechanism number 4. They go at the top and 2 at the bottom. And this is what I was telling you that's going to be covered. So, and what we want, see, move everything so it's not. So about a 1/4 in. So we're going to be calculating here. I'm eyeballing about a 1/4 in. And then this square needs to go, there you go. Like if you put it right there, this is going to be aligned with this. So it does not go like that. It goes inside here. So it's not a perfect alignment, but it kind of goes together. And we're going to fold these first. And I'm not going to put the glue yet because I just want to make sure it's going to work well, right? So I am going to, again, about a 1/4 of an inch in. I'm putting it there and I'm going to gluing this one and then, or adhering that one, and then I'm going to bring the other one. Thank you, Tracy. It's all good. It's all good. I always struggle so much with those and all, no, there, it is moving. So for whatever reason, and I did not try to fix it, the person that did it, so me, I guess the original, I don't know, they just said fold it, like go ahead and fold it, fold it, fold it, right? And it's going to prove some resistance because kind of like what happened at the top, the natural, not flexing, the natural area where the piece wants to fold is not the middle, or it's not that diagonal score line we did. And so there it is. It kind of does it on its own. You just push a little bit and it does it. But let me show you here. So see, it has a side here. So I'm gonna bring my bone folder now. There we go. So I'm gonna make that, fold that one. So that's what happens. So here's our fold, the score line that we did, and this is the place where it naturally wants to fold. And now we can add the glue. So these kind of like really glues together. And I'm just gonna wait there for a minute so it's glued all together. So I'm just gonna get there. Now the same is gonna happen with this side. So we're gonna go ahead and fold all these mountain. And I know, and I'm sorry, this is such a long card, but it just was so cute. I really needed to work on it. So I hope you guys forgive me. It's kind of on the longer side for the video. Okay, so it's the same thought process. So here are the flaps. Flaps go against the mechanism. So one on the card base, one on the mechanism. On this, I guess on the inside side. And the same idea, we're going to put this right there about a 1/4 of an inch. There we go. About a 1/4 of an inch in. and we're going to add the flaps. And I am not going to add the glue yet because I'd rather make sure that it is actually working well before we do any other crazy, you know. I mean, we've had our fair share of having to undo things, so we don't want to do that over and over again. At least in this channel, that's common practice, right? Okay, so I'm going to add these right here. And now we're going to do the exact same thing, and it's force these into folding where we want it to be folded. And it's the same, it's exactly the same. So I guess you could try to do this differently. I did not, quite frankly. And there we are. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to this side, just because this is the one that is kind of forced into. And so let me fold that, and we're going to hold to those. And while that gets glued, let me bring one block. I'm going to show you what I have and how we're going to decorate. So we're going to need 6 other pieces. These are just decorating pieces. Oh, this one's already glued. So 2 of these are, I will lie to you if I tell you I remember the measurements, but so you need the mossy meadow one is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4, and then you'll just do 8 smaller, so 4 by 3 1/8 and 1/7/8. Oh, that one is wrong. I mean, not wrong. I had to correct it, but then it would be 3 7/8 by 3. Then you'll need, sorry guys, I'm bringing all of them. 2 pieces. These are the middle ones. These are 1 7/8 by 3 1/2, and then the smaller, you know, eighths. And these 2 are the ones that go at the bottom, and those are 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. So let's go ahead and start adding this decoration here. And the first thing I'm going to do is, so I decided to just kind of like follow the same idea we did the other day with that other card, so last Tuesday. I really like how that looked. So it's the same, it's kind of the same ideas. And I'm just cutting that so we can leave that as a part of the decoration. Okay, and this one goes here at the top. We're going to bring glue, and we're going to put the glue on the inside square. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more. I'm going to distribute it better is what I'm trying to say. And we're going to align, same as we've been doing. So the lower corner of our panel here goes aligned there at with the lower corner of our square right there, and of course align with the edges of that square. So I'm just going to leave that one there. And these falls flat, so that is a beautiful thing. I think it's very useful. And I'm going to bring this one, and we're going to add it here. We'll decorate it here in a minute when it's done, but it's the same thing. Glue, it goes on the inside. I just want to add the panels first so they are completely glued, and then we can decorate. And the same process, align at, so get the corner with corner, and then align on the edges with that square. Okay, so I'm going to let those there sit for a minute. Now these 2 go in here. And then yes, this, you know, this is going to have more decorations, so I just felt that we needed something really lighter to make it not so busy. And what I figure out, guys, is you add the glue to the piece, right? But just, I don't know, probably like it's like a quarter of a third of it, because it does not extend all the way, right? So now add these centered in here. The core, just kind of the same, the side all align with the middle score line. So I'm just going to let that dry for 1 minute, and then we're going to bring this next one, and same thought process. I'm moving this a little bit so I can see better. So there we go. Okay, we got it, guys. And then I have, these are the two small panels, and these small panels need to be added in this area. And so because these fold backwards, you can have an area. So I just did a piece that I can write on, and that one I'm going to put in here because I'm that person, right? I have some writing letters on this side, so I want it on the other side, and I'm going to add the glue to that corner, so to the outside corner. And just like we did before, align with the corner, with the inside corner, and of course with the bottom and the top, I mean the edge. And then this one will probably decorate too, just a little bit. So again, glue in here, and let's go ahead and do the same thing. So we're adding right there. So see why I was not too concerned about it, because most of it is totally covered. Okay. So now I did cut like 100 pieces, like 100 things. You guys, same as always, right? And we are going to just bring a few of these in here to just to decorate. I did stamp just like this is petal pink. Oh, maybe not. Oh, maybe that. So sorry, guys. Petal pink on the very vanilla. All of them are stamped in very vanilla. This is too dark. You can barely see the difference. So that's probably the last I'm going to use. I like this one on pink on pink, but now that I see this one, I like this one. So this is petal pink and calypso coral together. I like those two. And then I have a variety of the smaller flowers, and I'm just going to put them in there. And I have stamped some of the leaves, and so we can totally add these leaves in here. But let me see, and one of these. So whoops. Okay, let me see these through. Yeah, I'm going to use these two. So they are the different same leaves, and so I'm going to put these, and then the set brings us a variety of other flowers, so you can add some extra flowers in many other places. So I can put those there, and that's why I was thinking that leaving these, you know, kind of like very, very neutral. So because there's a lot of decoration on the top. Now, the advantage with this, and let me remove this, the advantage with these fold is that the top is, I'm going to say, quote unquote, so far away from the paper that you can actually put something busy on the bottom. So usually, and if you've been here before, you know that I am not lying. Usually, for me anyways, and this can go off, I think. Yeah. Sorry guys, I was just trying to make sure. So this can go off a little bit, but usually what happens is I look for very, very neutral, either paper or use just embossed white, or, you know, just very, very neutral papers on these parts, because it feels to me that that we have a lot going on. But in this case, as you guys can tell, the decoration up top is going to be quite up high, and so it kind of clashes less, and I hope that makes sense. So I'm bringing one of this one in here, and I just, you guys know I like to overlap things. That is something I really like. It gives just like a very natural feel when you do that. And where's the other one? It flew away, guys. I don't know where it went. Same as always, doesn't it? So I have another one here. I was hoping that I didn't lose stuff, but oh, there it is. There it is, guys. It's so good. It's right there. So I'm bringing this one. It's very, very light, but I like it because it's very soft. And we're going to put this one in here. And again, I'm going to overlap like that. So underneath there. And let's add that one there. And let's see. And we're going to bring the big one on top in here. It's less noticeable in the light, but you can totally see it. And actually you can do this one if you prefer, or this one. These are the same, so I want two different like colors if you want. This one, although it's the same stamping kind of setting, this one is stamp off. So I'm going to bring this one. And then, whoops, let me see. And then we're going to bring up that one up there. And it just looks so beautiful, guys. I have to tell you, it looks so, so cute in real life. So what I was thinking is I'm going to separate this. So you can separate it. I'm just going to, so just where I cut it, guys, right there, which is not a great cut, I admit. But then I can just like really bring some pop of color here underneath this area. Kind of like that. And I like that because then it helps define the other flower that is a little lighter, right? And so let's do this right here. There it goes. And here's the other set of them. Here's the cut that I did. Not very good, not very good. But I can totally hide it right there and create some extra pops of color around the card or around the flowers. I've been thinking, no, let's leave it there. Okay. So that's what we got. And it folds. Okay, like I said, it gets, once you add all these, so this is how it ends up looking right there. And let me fold it a little bit so it stands up better. There it goes. It stands like that. So let me put it this way so you can see it stands up a little bit. So this piece helps us put it up. And so it just looks so beautiful in person. Just so, so beautiful. Now the dies bring some leaves, some die cut leaves, and I was just thinking of using that one in here. We don't need a whole lot. I'm gonna cut a piece of it, and so this one fits there just perfectly. And I love how this is looking, but I love how this is looking because I just love these colors, right? There's no it's just it. And so I'm going to bring this all the way to the corner and put it right there. Thank you, Bev. I'm glad that you like it. Okay, so that's how this looks. We have areas, you can put more in here. Once we're done with the front, we'll do that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to add these where you can write something, and then we can put extras when we're done with the front. I just want to make sure that we have the stuff from the front. And guys, I am so very sorry. I somehow lost my cutting that I wanted to do. I know it's late, but I wanted to bring the arches, the everyday arches, and I don't know where they are at. So there's that. If you don't mind waiting with me for 1 minute, I'll appreciate it. I'm down here looking for my arches, which they just, of course, disappeared because I need them. Okay. I found my arches. I'm right back. So I want these. We're gonna do two of them. And I'm thinking, do we want it pretty in pink now? No, I'm going to do it with Mossy Meadow. I hope I had some of the Mossy Meadow, but I don't. So we'll cut this. So we are going to make, hey Sonia, how are you? A frame. Guys, I like frames very much. I know I should probably not be doing that because we're on the late side, but I really, really like frames so much better. So we're going to do that. And what I do with the frames, guys, I bring the first one and I stabilize that one first. And then I bring the other one and then we add our post-it tape on it. So let me make sure that this is as centered as possible. Oh, yes. Nicole, you just made me laugh. That is so funny, Nicole. But it's totally true. Nicole is saying that mechanisms, like she says, I love this pop-up mechanism, always worth making despite the occasional bad word. And that is just so true. I could not agree more. That is so funny. Okay, so let me cut that. Hopefully I did a good job. It seems like I didn't align anything in here. Oh, let me show you guys because I want Miss Alice to see. There you go, Miss Alice. I've been using it. I've been using it. Okay. So, it didn't cut all the way through there, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll just fix it with the scissors, right? So it's almost there. It's just, I knew that corner was not well aligned, so it's totally on me, frankly. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut that, and I want to bring another piece of, I just threw stuff down there, of Berry Vanilla. And we're going to cut, and in these cases, I always cut the biggest side because it just works better than aligning two pieces. So there's that. So I'm just going to die cut this one. And again, guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know where I put them. Okay. So this is the big one. There we go. And so all we're going to do is add these in here and again create a frame. I just absolutely love frames, guys. I love it much better than adding, how you call this? That like matting. Frames are so beautiful. Okay. And I did put a lot of decorations in here, guys. I know that sometimes I go overboard. And I am learning that it should make things a little simpler. Just kind of not in my nature, but that's that. So these we're going to add in here. I think it looks so beautiful. So let's go ahead and add this. Now you guys can see why it is important to have to add the mats beforehand, right? Because it does grow big, especially with my cards because I put so many layers to it. Oh, I agree with Bev. Bev is saying that she loves the nested dies because they're so effective. So I got these two. So I made two little tags, one with the main, and this is using, I just want to bring you back to that. This is using the, it's called Creative Haven. So I'm using these two tags. And so I just want, I just want this one on top so it kind of brings that a little, what's the word? Contrast, sorry. Let me remove this out of the way. And I have a ton of other things here. So we're going to start first with the flowers on the bottom. A couple of things that I want to say, and I don't know if it's user error, so I wanted to do just white or berry vanilla and berry vanilla, but these dies do not align with this thing. So if somebody have them, I need somebody to tell me if that is what it is. Let me put it out here. You see, like, it does not align well. So I'm guessing that the goal is for them to not be aligned. I don't know. I did not prefer that. I'm just gonna say it out loud. This one is also, you can't see. So I'm gonna bring the ones that I'd like first, and then we'll add the others. So we have, again, we have all sorts of little flowers in here to play with. And there was, okay, there's the big one. So we have, let me remove this. I'm gonna add the big one. So we have 3 big ones, and I want to put them like that, kind of in different positions. And then we have a lighter one. Wait, sorry guys, it's taking me a little bit. So I want, this one is lighter, so light and kind of light and light and dark and dark. I don't know if that makes sense, guys. There's another one. This one has a middle, so I'm not going to use that one because it has a middle and the others don't. But we have, I move these a little bit there and then this one there. So something along those lines. So we're just creating like a little garden. And then we have tons of leaves. We can use these. I am thinking that I want to use this because they're bigger and they just create a really, really nice contrast against our card base. So something along those lines, and then we'll embed these inside. Sonia is saying less is more is never the case when card making. That is hilarious. That is so true too. Okay, so we have an idea of what we want to do. That's just like our first draft. I'm moving these towards a little bit towards the edge, more kind of inclined diagonal, and that one too, something like that. So I'm going to bring glue, but not tons of it. I'm just dotting because you guys, again, know that I like to put things like inside and tucked in and stuff like that. And so I want to leave some space for me to do that. And okay, so they are a little bit diagonal. Okay, that looks pretty on its own. And I'm going to bring this one. So this one, come on guys. Okay, let's start with right here. Okay, because this has so many openings, we can't try to do that like that. See how cool that looks? That to me looks realistic. That's the word. And I'm just putting like a big dot of glue there because I don't want to move this too much. I think that'll be enough. And then I'm bringing the other darker one right up there. Kind of like right there. And then we're going to bring the big one right here in the middle. And I made a mistake there. Okay, kind of like that. And then we'll add the other color ones around. Like I was putting it, like I just want them to help define the other flowers, kind of. So we'll put that one there. And then we'll bring the lighter one. I really don't like this light one. We're stuck in there because this one, I didn't do a good job cutting. This is the one I would love to add here. So we're able to, no, that's 2. It's not well cut, let's face it. So I'm just gonna put this one, I'm actually gonna put this one on top with a dimensional, 2 dimensionals. And then I'm going to bring the light one. I should have done that one on top. I don't know why, what I was thinking. And then let's add some of these small ones. Okay. So I'm going to add this one in here because that looks, again, it just pops up. Nico Nicole is saying she can't do less is more either. Yeah, I'm not that person, but I guess you've been here before, you know I'm not the less is more kind of person. That just does not bode well. I'm just going to put this one on here, maybe right there, but on dimensionals, and I'm bringing the mini dimensionals for that. And so we'll have something on dimensionals on one side and something on dimensionals on the other side. Kind of like there. Right there. Okay, and so now we're going to bring this one, and I know I just like it so much, guys, that I had to add stuff to this. I could not help it. It's just so beautiful, and I'm like, yeah, it just needs that. And then we're going to bring that one there. I know it got really busy, but there you go. We made it. We made it. The last thing. Hi, Linda. How are you? Yes, we're going to bring these that belong to the suite. And actually, let me see. Where's my... I have such a mess. I have such a mess, guys. Oh my goodness. I just absolutely love these. Are so beautiful. And of course, now I lost. Okay, fine. Be that way. So I'm going to bring a couple around with at the big centers there, and so the small ones as well, maybe right there. So wherever there is a center, I'm going to add one. It just gives it so much beauty. And I'm going to bring one in here just because, you know, we have that wave 5. Okay, we made it. We made it. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I was not meaning for it to be so late. Okay, so, and of course you tie this up and it will look very, very beautiful. But there it is. And then we go and open and ta-da. Oh my gosh, I just absolutely love the inside. I love the inside, guys. Cannot tell you how much I love it because like I said, usually I can't put the papers I like in here. So there you go. And there's that is holding. So that part of the mechanism. Mechanism number 2 is the one that's holding the card kind of like upright, but with the advantage that you can fall flat completely, and then you can write in here or add more stuff in here. So what do you guys think? Thank you. Oh, thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Linda and Julie and Kim. I really appreciate that. I'm so glad you guys like it. Okay, so that's the one. Now the other one I made, it's using the duck. I forget the name of it. But I bought this and I barely used it. So I am using these, which is one of my favorites. So I have it here. Where are you? Sending, wishing for force. I don't see him. Well, whatever. It's late enough, so I don't have to dwell on it. I don't know where it's at, but I really like these, the colors in it, and it's such so beautiful. But look how beautiful this looks on the inside. Isn't that super cute? Like, I just absolutely love how these cards end up looking. Okay, Julie, are you talking about this DSP? This DSP belongs to a new suite that is, we're now in the pre-ordering, and it's called Brush with Beauty. And it has, again, probably my favorite paper in a very long time, I have to say, guys. Thank you. So this one has a very simple outside, but I figured that there's a lot going on the inside, and it just looks so gorgeous, guys. So gorgeous. I did add the frog there, and as you guys can tell, this was not complicated. I did so well in here. I don't know what happened. Um, and again, you can fold flat, and you can write something here. So I really like that, because it feels like, you know, you have an area to write. You don't have to define beforehand what you're going to say or anything. And this is a birthday card, but I just feel it's so cute, right, Adrian? And Nicole, they're saying that she loves ducks, and Adrian is saying that the duck one is cute. I really like it. It has a very nice vibrancy to it, and I love it. But again, you can tell here how you can make these panels a little bit busier than we usually do, because the top or the rest of the paper is kind of higher up. And so there we go. And so you like, it does not clash with the front. I don't know if that makes sense. So anyways, those are the two cards. I was going to make 3 of them because I got always so excited. And yeah, no, that didn't happen. I'm just thinking it needs that one there. It just didn't happen. I just did not have the time, because I was, so what happens is, and I'll show you this so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There it is. So this is the original template, and you guys can see how this is so much thicker. This is 4 inches. And it's so much thicker. So that's when I started making other. So I had already played with the measurements to make it fit into a 6x6, because again, the original was 8x8. And so I had already played with the measurements. And but then I'm like, oh no, I don't like this. Is so big in here, right? I know this looks very disastrous, but this looks so big. So I'm like, no, I want it smaller. So I had to play back again with the measurements. So this one, oh my goodness, Elizabeth. Elizabeth is asking what paper is this one. And this one was 2 years ago when we had what I call the color earthquake that I had not gone through in Stampin' Up. And they brought Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon and all those colors. They had put out a packet that had just plaid, and it was Pretty Peacock, and I can't remember which were the ones, but it brought that's what it was. And I'm sorry, Elizabeth, I don't remember what it was, the name of it. So if I find it, I will let you know. But there you go. So the more they are sitting down, is not the right word. The more they are folded, the more, see, because see how, okay, let me show this. See how much better this folds, this stands up. And that's because it's being, all close together. So this one, the more you keep it closed, the better it's going to work. Whoops. Something unplugged in here, guys. Ha! Traitor. Okay, let's go. This is cute. Now we're going to struggle a little bit. Let me see. So maybe if I close this, that's where this needs to go. Yep. No, I have to fix it. I don't know why it came. Well, I know why it came off, because I should have put glue on it. But there you go. You're so funny, Nicole is saying, keep working on the template. It just gives a very interesting asymmetrical pop-up, right? I know, it's just so weird. Anyways, that's what it is. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I apologize it took us a little longer, but definitely it was a card that was on, had a few. I have to show you guys this because this makes me so happy. So I made stickers for me. I know that's a little dumb, but I made little stickers for me, and I'm definitely gonna make myself a hoodie that says Maria's Crafting Corner. Just so you know, I'm gonna make myself a hoodie and probably a shirt. Just so you know, if you see me one day wearing my hoodie, you'll be like, yes, it's so amazing. Thank you, Bev. I really appreciate you guys being here and being so generous all the time with your comments. Let me see, guys. I just want to make sure that I got this right. Okay, so such a fun thing. Okay, I should let you go. Okay, sorry guys. I know, thank you. It is so funny, these stickers, right? I'm so excited about them. I just need to cut them, but I'm just really, really excited. Okay, thank you so much for being here, guys. If you like the project today, please give it a thumbs up. Please share in your social media. I really, really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed by now, please subscribe. I would also appreciate that. And I was gonna say something else, but I completely forgot. So there's that. I have a mess here. I can't even like move anything without making a mess. But that's what it is. Oh, I remember now. And go and visit the lady Soco. If you go into, it's called Las Cosas de Soco. So if you go into the description box, you will see something that says at Las Cosas de Soco. And so go visit her. She seems to be starting. I don't know if she is really, but she seems to be starting. And so we want to give her some love too. Okay. So thank you guys. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening and a wonderful rest of your week. And thank you for watching. See you next Tuesday. Give it a thumbs up, and God, I hope God bless you this weekend ever. Bye.